Richard Pryor biopic feels like a very stubborn diesel operated lawnmower. It won't start when it's supposed to start. It's been kicking around, being tossed around. There's been a lot of interest. Big time players that um, for some whatever reason, Richard Pryor means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. We have Eddie Murphy that was involved at some point, Oprah, JC, Netflix. The list goes on. But I sort of like the approach that well, it's worth saying that MGM won a bidding war, and that bidding war comes with a package with a filmmaker that's essentially making his debut, but he's still a known entity. So let's dig into perhaps the history of a film that just wouldn't start and the involvement of Kenya Barris.
Yeah, I mean, I think as long as I've been writing about movies, the Richard Pryor biopic has been kicking around. You're right. Everyone you mentioned has been involved at one point. I think the closest it ever came was Bill Condon directing Marlon Wayans at one point, and that just never happened. I was at Sony, but Kenya Barris is am I saying that right? Yeah,
Yeah.
has been has made their mark in TV with Blackish and Grownish. Has ironically a big deal currently at Netflix, which rumor is that they might actually back out of it and go back to CBS or whatnot. But it's a huge name, one that has made huge waves in the industry. Coming up, co-writing the script of Coming to America sequel. So it's a solid choice to write this project, but I think for me the thing is like I will believe that this movie is happening when it's in the theater. But until then, like it's just another iteration of this forever developing project.
I was putting some thought to Richard Pryor, and his career was multifaceted to an extent. He did TV, did film, he did stand-up comedy. His public life was very much on display. We saw the best and the worst of this character. So his widow is actually one of the producers on the project. I think my big concern, seeing that it's gone through so many variations, is are we going to find something that's perhaps more tame when we consider the PC climate that we're in right now? Because Richard Pryor, when he was in hell, yeah, you wouldn't want to be in those shoes.
Yeah, I mean that's the question with every biopic, right? Is how far are they willing to actually show the darker side of a public personality, one who's very much beloved and inspired, easily a generation, if not two generations of comics. And I guess we'll see how that plays out. But I don't think you can tell the Eddie Murphy story honestly without getting into those elements of his life that were uncomfortable and that were difficult. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. But I will say that I think someone like Kenya Barris is not going to be afraid to go down that road. So and I think MGM buys a project like this knowing that the people they're getting involved with are going to want to do it honestly. So I don't force. I mean, I'm hopeful, and I think they will treat it with the candor it deserves to be.
Yeah, I think it's going to speak to a lot of. I mean, he had a legion of fans. There's this whole other demographic that might not be familiar with him, or the George Carlins, or some of the old school comedians, or even like Mel Brooks's Blazing Saddles. What I'm hopeful is that we can get some behind the scenes of the actual set. So like film within a film, that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll believe it when we see it, or at least when it goes into production.
I'm Eric Lavallee. I'm editor-in-chief and site owner for IonCinema.com. And this is...
Kevin Jaggernaut, contributing writer for the playlist.
And together we are Indie Sponge.